Karen is the queen of shade. Karen is the queen of shade. Hey everyone, it's Keisha and welcome back to my channel. Another Sunday has come and gone, so let's talk about it. Season 9, episode 2 of Real Housewives of Potomac. So while I'm giving my recap, my thoughts of the show, I'm just gonna be curling my hair. And yeah, cause I wanna take some pictures and I wanna film some other content. So that's what I'm gonna do. But let's just start with talking about Giselle and Wendy's lunch together. For me, it was just giving a little bit awkward. Like, the beginning was just awkward to watch. It seemed like there was still a lot of animosity and they really wasn't talking about nothing. But one thing that's gonna bring these women together is gossiping about somebody else. Because as soon as they started talking about ink, that's when the genuine laughs and the genuine smiles came out, and I just thought that was so funny to me. When Giselle was talking to Wendy and she was like, Karen said she met Ink, and Karen says she turned around and looked and didn't see nobody there. Why would she say that? Oh my gosh, that is too funny, I'm sorry. And Karen's not even that tall. And then Wendy was on some, oh, is that why they do those stagger pictures? I was cracking up, and of course the producers showed pictures of Wendy and Ink together, and they sure were staggered with him in front. Cause Mia's tall. Wait, did I say Wendy and Ink? Mia. Mia is tall, okay? She is stallion. But when they showed those stagger photos, I about died in the couch. Like, that was so funny. I hope he meets all the ladies. It's gonna be hilarious. But moving on to Miss Stacy, I said in my episode 1 recap that I felt like Stacy was gonna have a lot of screen time just based off of what the preview was showing, and a lot of this episode was showing Stacy. And let's just start with her and her soon-to-be ex-husband living in the same house together while they're going through this divorce. Honestly, it's not unheard of. I don't think it's super abnormal, but what was surprising to me was how how Stacy said that she's not telling their daughter that they're getting a divorce until like everything's set up and said and done already. And I was like, okay, as someone whose parents separated when I was like in 5th grade, I want to say, I was maybe like 11, we definitely notice, okay? I don't know how old Stacy's daughter is. She looks a little younger than 11, to be honest, but I absolutely noticed when my parents started sleeping in different bedrooms. And I'm sure she notices that her family unit is not quite the same anymore. Like, Stacy said that they're taking separate vacations, like her soon-to-be ex-husband and their daughter are going on spring break to Cabo together, and Stacy is not going. So I'm sure like that's noticeable to their daughter. I don't know, I just think they should definitely talk about it with her sooner rather than later, because it definitely is something that kids notice. Like, that girl knows something's up. I don't know how old she is, but kids can tell these things. So that was like a kind of a shock to me. I was like, what? You're not gonna say anything about the divorce? It's very interesting. And going into Stacy and Ashley's little hike hangout and their conversation that they had about wanting their children to be proud of their blackness and like really identify with both sides of where they come from. I think that was a very interesting and very real conversation, because even I don't have kids. I don't even know if I want kids, but when you grow up and you make more money than you did when you were growing up, unfortunately, most affluent neighborhoods are majority people who do not look like us. So even if your child isn't multiracial, it's definitely going to be something you have to instill in them to be proud to be Black. Because growing up, going to majority white elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, if you go to a PWI for college, I did all of those things, but I always had Black friends. I always had, you know, Black families around me, and I was always seeing my family like every single year. I'm not multiracial, by the way. I am just Liberian, but I'm saying this as someone who grew up going to schools that were predominantly white. Seeing your family consistently, having friends who look like you is really important. And I think that's really something to think about. Like, that was a very interesting conversation to me. I really liked hearing their perspective, and I liked their little conversation together. And I think it's so important to have your kids around your family, knowing where they come from. That's something I also like really want to do now with my mom. Is both of my parents are from Liberia, and I have never been to Liberia. I've never been to any part of Africa, but when I go to Africa for the first time, I want to go to Liberia, the homeland of my parents and all my aunts, all my uncles, my grandparents, who I unfortunately never got to meet. But luckily, growing up, I was always seeing my cousins every Thanksgiving or like 4th of July. And me and all my girl cousins, we have like this yearly cousins trip that we like to take. We've been to Mexico, we've been to Barbados, we've been to Aruba together. So being in touch with family is really important. Something else that Ashley and Stacy were talking about is that Stacy is now dating this man who is a devout Christian, and he doesn't want to be intimate until marriage. That's fine. I think that's really respectable. But what I found a little, oh my goodness, these curls are looking like whatever. I don't even know. This is why I can't talk and do things. But anyways, what I found to be really funny was that she is living with her soon-to-be ex-husband, but she's with this man she said she's in love with. She wants to get married. She thinks they're on, or she never said she wants to get married actually, because Ashley asked her that point blank. And she said they're on, she said she thinks they're on the track to marriage. That's what she said. And now, I know I said like it's kind of normal for people who are going through a divorce to still live together. But if you think you're on a track to marriage with another man, girl, you need to speed this divorce up. Like, child, what is going on? I was like, okay, now the living together with your ex-husband thing is a little crazy. Y'all need to get the situation handled if you're in love with another man and you think y'all about to get married. But anyways, moving on to Giselle and Ashley's GNA event. First of all, let's talk about Karen, because Karen went over to Giselle's place and was talking about, oh, I actually have another event the same day. And Giselle asked point blank, oh, what time is it? And Karen was like, oh, I don't know, but I think it's earlier in the day. Like, Karen, you know what time it is. Karen is always acting. Karen is always acting like she don't know what's going on. And maybe she is just a forgetful person. I don't know. But I remember this too with like Wendy when she was talking to Karen about wanting to make candles. Then all of a sudden Karen comes out with Grand Dame candles, and Wendy was like, Karen, I talked to you about this and you never told me you were making candles. And Karen was like, oh, I don't remember our conversation about candles. And I'm like, girl, it was literally 2 days ago. Like, I don't know, Karen is either very forgetful or she's just the queen of shade, because you knew what time that event was. Come on, Karen. Karen does this very often. I think it's funny, but girl, you know you're being shady. You know you're being shady. So Karen ends up inviting all the ladies to her event, and they're going on at the same time. And Giselle had already invited everyone a week prior, and everyone already RSVP'd. So Giselle is pissed. Giselle is like, honestly, they don't need to show up if they're gonna show up late. Like, this event is for my dad. He died of a brain tumor. This is like honoring him, and this is raising money for like brain cancer or like early detection health awareness. I forget what the exact details were, but this event was really important to Giselle, and y'all already RSVP'd. Like, and so they're in the van, they're dancing around, they're like, okay, how can we make it? Like, let's show up by 8:30. They on the phone with Ashley, and Ashley's like, the event ends at 9, so please get here by 8. Do not show up at 8:30. And Wendy and Kay, they were like, oh, well, Karen is like my friend over Giselle, so I'm just gonna go to Karen's event and I'm gonna stay here. The other girls, Mia, Stacy, and Jazzy, they go to Karen's event, and Karen's being shady in her confessional. She talking about, well, clearly I'm more loved than Giselle. Like, all the ladies showed up for me. And I'm like, Karen is the queen of shade. Karen is the queen of shade. But anyways, Mia, Stacy, and Jazzy get back into the van, and they're on their way to the GNA event, which, by the way, it was very stunning. It was very cute. I think it was very well done and planned. Karen's event wasn't even really her event. So I don't know, like, I really feel like I'm on Giselle's side. Y'all already RSVP'd. You should have just went to Giselle's event. Like, Vivian, who is Karen's friends first before anything else, she didn't even show up at Karen's award event, or the whatever it is. It's not even Karen's event. But anyways, Vivian showed up to Giselle and Ashley's GNA event, and Giselle was like really touched, and she was like, wow, like, I'm really glad you're here. And Vivian was like, oh yes, like, I RSVP'd. That's the type of time the other lady should have been on. Like, they should have just showed up on time to the GNA event. And I definitely understand Giselle being mad, but when the ladies did show up, the other three who came, they did show up. They were there by 8, okay? So they did get there by 8. But Giselle was not having it. She was upset. She was angry. She was calling security on them. She was like, William! She said, William, like, no, y'all gotta get out. Y'all gotta get out. The event's almost over. And honestly, Giselle, like, I feel you. I feel that you're upset. I know this event was really important to you. I understand you're upset, but I really feel like Giselle should have just enjoyed the rest of her night and just been mad at them tomorrow. But Giselle, she is a little more dramatic than I, so. But I did think that was, I was on Giselle's side, but I don't think that she should have been calling security to like kick them out. I think that was doing a little much. And not to mention that they did make it with an hour left of the event. So honestly, I would have just been like, hopefully, that's how the episode ended, by the way. So hopefully we didn't see if she actually kicked them out or if they were able to talk to her. Hopefully Ashley was able to talk her down or they were able to have a conversation. I don't know. Giselle is stubborn and hard-headed, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. But this was a good episode. I liked it. I do want to see more of Stacy and her soon-to-be ex-husband situation and her new love situation. I am interested in that. Okay, I'm messy, you know, like I'm into the drama. So I'm so excited for season 3, or not season 3, for episode 3 next Sunday. I'll be tuned in, baby. I have hella flyaways, so I'm gonna work that out real quick. Oh my gosh, these flyaways are crazy. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. What did you think of the episode? I hate when they end the episode just when something's about to pop off. 'Cause they did that in the first episode when Mia was like crying and she walked out, and I thought that was gonna be the end of the brunch. But you know, Mia came back and she was a rallier. Because if someone called me, again, I don't have kids, but if someone called me a bad mother or said I wasn't protecting my children at a table full of people, some of whom don't even know me, I would have left. I would have left. Also, sorry, just a little side note, Mia, after that whole dinner or brunch, Karen's birthday, whatever, she said that she wasn't even really feeling Karen anymore for real. So like, why did you even go to Karen's event over Giselle's, which you already RSVP'd to? I don't know. But yeah, that is my thoughts. Those are my opinions. Ooh, hold on. I see a piece in the back that is completely straight that I very much missed here. This is what happens when I'm talking and not paying attention. I can't even really see what I'm doing. Okay, period. Okay, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts about the episode in the comments below and subscribe to my channel because we're gonna be chatting about episode 3 next week. Bye! I walk like this, I walk like this. I just send a video, I don't edit my pics. I work for it, I'm on my and when I'm walking by, I know the truth is